What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Team Storm Circus live video. Today we're going to be diving on into the branded from the ground up. This is going to be showing you guys the deck profile that we're going to be using for this video. I'm not going to be going into too much detail for this, of course, but we are going to be seeing the 3 Albaz, the 1 Albion, the 2 Cartesias, the double Quem here. You could play Maximus instead. We did change it from the last deck profile you guys saw. The 3 Despia, the Alubers, the 1 Tragedy, the 1 Soranir, the Lubellion, as well as the Mercurier. The Gimmick Puppet in the main. This is going to be the 40 card build, therefore you want to do it as reliably as possible. And then, of course, you have the triple fusions, the triple openings, the 1 red, the 1 lost, triple copies of the Forbidden Drop. This is going to be our 1 card of interruption, of course, other than the thrust as well as the double talents. We have the triple Nadir Servant for this build, which we are going to be focusing on. And then, of course, the fusion deployments, and then the 1 of Call by the Grave, as well as the 2 traps. This is going to be very standard for this list. It's going to be the 40 card list that we're going to be practicing. I'm not going to be showing you guys all the games. I can link them if you guys want to know in the comment section down below. There is going to be the 1 versus Sword Soul we posted, as well as the Dinomorphia one. We're going to be going over like certain points of the video to explaining to you guys kind of what really is the purpose of this. But this deck is really kind of concentrated into getting the branded fusion, or I guess the fusion cards to resolve us properly, and we're going to be gimmick puppeting. This is like the gimmick puppet turbo version of the deck, if you guys wish. Alongside, that's why we're playing cards like Thrust to actually duplicate your copies of branded fusion, which you can go into Sanctifier by using the Albaz and copies of Cartesia or Quem. The Nadir Servant also facilitates you to dump, because you have the ability to dump like copies of Titanic Lab to summon your Quems and get like the copies of being able to summon Albaz, or dump like Cartesia. Cartesia can dump. And then, of course, you get to fusion summon with the Cartesia as well. Moving on to the extra deck here, we are going to be using the double copies of Mirror Jade, the double copies of Albion, the 1 Sanctifier, and 1 copy of Lubellion, the Titanic Clad, as well as the Rinbrum, the Masquerade, the double Granganol, the copies of the Quem, Lulu Walith, and then, of course, the Both. So this is actually going to be like very, very standard in most. I think the only thing that we do really change is if you're not playing the Deer, you don't play the copy of Lulu Walith. And then, of course, the side deck is going to be our personal choice. I am going to be featuring it for this because I thought that you guys would want to see potentially what we can do and obviously why we want to change stuff. The Abyssals are very popular right now. We kind of have to combat that ourselves with playing them as well. It does help our deck with like Lubellion and stuff like that, and we can't obviously search Albaz, with the Magnamut. And Albaz can be a really good normal summon as well. This is going to be really just showing off certain points of the deck that we can see. Like, we are going to be playing against, I believe it is Dinomorphia, which is going to be a full video that you guys can already watch. Going to be a Sword Soul, I believe, as well as another video you guys can watch. And then, of course, going to be the going up against Salamangreats. That's going to be our final matchup here. But we're going to be showing off certain aspects of the deck. We ended up going 2-1 that week, getting 2nd place. So we're going to be diving into the gameplay here. And we're going to be starting off with the Dinomorphia deck. So this is going to be where we end up going first. We're going to be setting up our board. We're going to activate Lubellion. That's going to search us for the Bestial here. This is going to be our Soranir, which is going to let us dump. We are going to be going first, so I want to be showing that off against a trap deck. So not your normal board, but we're going to be searching for that Soranir. If you guys do like this kind of content, let me know in the comment section down below. I kind of want to be doing maybe more of a blog focus. We also have the Albion, so we have actually double dump function here by using that copy of Albion to also get us another draw. We do the Lubellion first because you do not want to draw into that copy of Soranir. Soranir will also be a perfect discard in this case. And we have a copy of Fusion Deployment, so we don't need to necessarily discard, but we can if we were going second, something with the Albaz, discarding the copy of Soranir. But in this case, we're going to be able to use the Fusion Deployment to go for a copy of Cartesia. Cartesia can then use it if we want to go into a copy of the Granganol, dump an additional card, and this is going to give us access to Branded Fusion this way. He's going to be reading the Cartesia here. Cartesia is an absolutely amazing card. If you guys do not know, this is a card that lets you play through Ash Blossoms and other stuff as well. It's also during the main phase, so it's also going to be during your opponent's turn. So a lot of times they will not just imperm that unless they have another way to stop it during their turn, or they just think it's a very powerful point of your combo. So we're going to activate the effect. This is going to go through. We're going to be getting rid of a copy of Tragedy here. So keeping that copy of the Soranir in the hand, revealing one other card in our hand. But Tragedy is going to let us search for a copy of a Despia, therefore going to be either copy of an Aluber or Quem. In this case, I believe we also have the Nadir Servant in the hand, so we don't want to be dumping the copy of... we don't want to be searching for the Quem here, but we are going to go for Tragedy as well as the Granganol. It's going to be dumping from the extra deck, most likely going to be either a copy of Titanic Lad, depending on what we already have. In this case, we do not have the Nadir Servant, so we are dumping the Titanic Lad here. I'm going to search for the copy of the Aluber. We then get to normal summon with the Aluber, activating the effect, searching for a copy of Brand Fusion. All lines lead to Brand Fusion, and they do have the Ash Blossom for this, but it's quite fine because we do have enough to continue. We can set an additional card here and leaving the Soronir and another card in the hand, and then during the end phase, Titanic level activates effects and bringing it out on the field. We have the option, if we want to actually summon out the copy of Cartesia, but we're going to be dumping the Albaz with the copy of the Quem. It does get hit with a copy of Imperm, which is going to be important because now we don't have access to a Albaz in the hand unless there's another card that we have in the hand. If I do not recall, it was a copy of Albaz that we're going to be using off the Forbidden Drop, as you guys are going to be seeing in a second. So we are going to be passing turn on this, and they do have Ferret Flames and Duality. So we're going to attempt to normal summon a copy of the Dinomorphia Theresia. We do have a copy of Forbidden Droplets. Now normally in this case you do not want to be actually Forbidden Dropling this, but for us here we have a very important thing where we have to discard a copy of the Albaz. So Albaz is going to be discarded, which is going to let us essentially, whenever we need to, when a body leaves the extra deck, we're going to be able to summon it back out with our copy of the Quem, and in this case we'll also be able to add back the Cartesia, which we probably should have done, but we have the Brand Fusion in the graveyard alongside the Retribution to add back, so we're always going to have access to it, and at this point it was just the game in our bags. This kind of is showing you off the combo going first, where Brand Fusion cannot resolve, and you still have Grangadon, which is going to be able to tag out, summon back something with, if they ever have a monster effect that's going to activate summon itself, or just adding back the Brand Fusion. And if you had a copy of Branded in red as well, the very power of it. I also want to be showing you guys off the power of Forbidden Droplets, going to be able to negate a card. Now in this case, it's going to be against a trap deck, so it's not going to be very impactful, but if in the right case, you could have actually used like a Soronir, hand trapping your opponent by banishing one of their key cards, and then using the Forbidden Droplets to send itself plus the Albaz here. So now we're going to be jumping onto the Sword Soul, where this is going to be us breaking a board. So we're going to be activating the Sword Soul to go up. This is going to be game 2 here. We're going to be showing you guys the power or the importance of activating the effects. So we are going to be going for the casual Sword Soul line. I do believe they're going to get a draw 2 alongside a search by going for the Sinister Long Young first. They do know we are on no hand traps right now, so you guys are going to be seeing like, oh well, why would Sword Soul do this? And also, Sinister is very good against their deck as well. But having copies of Fusion Deployment, also using Albaz, is very, very important here. Like, having to choose to use Albaz or not is always going to be key, especially during your opponent's turn with Rinbrum. Rinbrum is going to be a very complicated card, and I'll be explaining to you guys it in a second here. So I'm going to be getting with a draw 2 as alongside a search. They'll also be able to set their 2 cards and pass here. So if one of these cards were anti-spell, we would be in very big trouble, but unfortunately it is not. We know they have a Blackout, so we want to have them deal with that by leaving only 1 card onto the field. We then get the normal summon in Albaz, which is going to be forcing the copy of Chi-Zhao. They can't negate it they can't banish it with a copy of Sinister. But we are going to be attempting to Cosmic, hitting one of the back row, and unfortunately it is a copy of Heavenly Prison. So in this case, we probably should have activated it first, but they wouldn't have probably negated it by, they probably wouldn't have used the ability to search because they do value their failure here in this case. But it's going to be fine because we do kind of now make them forced to go into something else. So you have the Cartesias who can special summon herself out. So in this case, they are able to use the copy of Sinister as well as the copy of Blackout. We will always be able to tag out whenever every point that we want to with a copy of Cartesia. Once again, touching up on the strength of Cartesia here. We're going to activate the effect, and we are going to be fusing away here, into a copy of. There we go. On summon, you attempt to activate the effect of Sinister. We can then activate the effect of the Cartesia to chain if we want to, but he said think here, and then we're going to be, okay, well, I'm going to actually just draw 2 instead. And so we're going to activate the effect of draw 2. He does have Ash Blossom for this, which is whatever. And then we can activate the effect of Cartesia whenever we want to. I thought they said they were going to use Sinister. They said they were not. So we're going to be going back. Sinister is a very good card against the Branded strategy, but if you can end up sticking a copy of the Rinbrum onto the field, you're going to be having a really good time. So we're going to go into a copy of Grangadon here. It's going to get banished by the effect of Sinister. We're going to pay life points, but we still have to dump, or we still get the dump here, dumping the copy of the Rinbrum. So it's going to be able to deal with our copy of the Sinister, by being able to summon out the copy of Albaz here in the standby phase or the draw phase here. So we're going to activate the effect, banishing it, targeting the Albaz, summon itself out. To activate the effect, we then go, do you have any mandatory effects or trigger effects you want to activate on the summon? They say, no, we do not. So we activate the copy of Albaz, fusing it away. The trigger effects have now not been able to activate. and we can just use it to go for a Mirror J. We know they have Blackout in the hand here, or they have Blackout set alongside a copy of the Long Gun. We're going to be able to banish our tokens anyways. So moving on into game 3. We did end up winning that one there, which is really cool. Just one of these features, I guess, show cool combos of the deck. We are going to be going second here against the match that we have lost. Want to kind of show you guys off. I haven't been able to see Nadir, unfortunately, but if you guys do watch the full Dynamorphia deck video, I guess, or the duel video, you guys will be able to see that. I've been told before that people don't want to be watching multiple deck duels in a video, so I kind of just want to be showing you guys off cool interactions so you guys can see, and of course, if you guys are interested, showing off full videos later on, as well as if I'm doing POV, you guys will see them in that as well. A very different version that you guys have not seen before on a bunch of other channels, kind of like our own little thing. You guys get to see my plays in real time, and also like a lot of time I explain my thought process behind it as well. Like I'll be able to realize I made misplays, and you guys will hear me explain it, rather than like just being able to like watch a video back. So it's going to be a sound great combo here, going with a normal summon, but not having a good card as in the copy of the Debug. We already had the copy of the IMP Ground Grenade. So this deck is actually really scary for us because they have the ability to play through Nib, and we don't play Nib. So essentially they can just go full combo and give us cards alongside having the Weasel. So they don't have to be worried about the Nib at all. And they're going to end on like Raging Phoenix, SP, and they play Exceed as well. So if they end up getting to that, they can just go for a copy of Baguska, which we're going to be seeing here is going to be almost impossible for us to deal with unless we have copies of Forbidden Droplets alongside either Imperm if you do play it, or anything else. Like you have to essentially open up Droplets. In this case, we did not. So we're going to be making their full board. And Princess is also a problem as well for us. I guess in this board, I should say. So they have 1 interruption within the copy of Princess, 2 interrupt copies as in the Roar they could set off the Raging Phoenix, 3 interruptions including the SP, 4 interruptions including the Grouth, the whatever EMP Grenade, and then alongside all that, we have to also play through a Baguska, which the deck is notoriously not able to beat, therefore not playing any links, which is just a problem for us. So we're going to be seeing them make a board, and they will be able to trigger a card after they do search. Deck thinning and also letting them draw is pretty nice. I believe this video is not online. Nobody wants to really see a Game 1 alongside a Game 3 Baguska, so this video was not. But this is going to be the finals here at our locals. It was only like a 13 or 14 person locals here getting second at it, which is just, it is what it is. Sometimes you get paired up against the decks that just can beat you. And there's not really much you can do in that, other than if you open up droplets, you open up droplets. I believe we do end up just setting up a huge board here, hoping that we just can power through some of it or getting some searches, but we just don't get enough there, which is fine. We're going to be seeing them overlay and not even use Baguska, or not even use Parallel Exceed in this case, just turboing all those level 4s from the graveyard with either the copy of Falco alongside the copy of Jack Jaguar here. So going to be having a big problem here dealing with this board. And then I have a Rage set as well. So kind of just a sting. But we are thinking here, if you guys know any combo lines that we can do to play around this, let me know in the comment section down below. I'm always looking for other ways to improve on this deck. This is going to be just showing you guys off a short summary of just the video there. We do normal summon with the Albaz, act for the effect, pitching an Albaz. This is so that we can use Branded in Red later. We do summon out the copy of the Cartesia. Like you guys can see here, our hand is not good at all. We're essentially just boarding up, and we just pass turn on this. So we're hoping that they maybe switch their copy of the Baguska in its attack position here. But they do not. And so like we're just essentially going a little bit of combo here, just slowly. Are hoping that they just switch it. They can go battle phase and attack us with the SP alongside the copy of the Phoenix, but they're going to go normal summon, get the effect, going to get the Weasel, and they're going to give us the copy of Balinx here. This can trigger then the Princess, which can then destroy cards, and it's like, yeah, we're just going to lose this here altogether, which is just very rough for us, but it is what it is. regardless, I want to kind of show you guys like what we can and cannot do. If you guys want to be seeing the videos in depth, I can let me know. Let me know how you guys would think of this video, and this is going to be just episode 1. I want to be doing this for you guys, making a shorter version of it. If there's anything you guys want to be seeing extra, let me know in the comment section down below. I definitely will be doing that. But we're just here, we just submit defeat. We got a Cartesia, a copy of Aluber, and then a Mercurier. Unfortunately, going up against a copy of Baguska, you do need that non-engine in the deck, which is kind of rough. We do play the copies of the whatever it's called, the big dragon guy Thanos, to essentially draw into it. But we didn't see it, which is fine. But I hope you guys enjoyed watching the video. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, some more content like this. And stay safe. We'll see you next week. Peace.